Okay, it's recording. Maya! Just whistle back up. That was good. I can hear you.
Okay.
I think I'm making a sticky toffee pudding and custard if you want some. Awesome.
I wrote this days after hearing about the death of Robbie Robertson, and thinking of the band's last waltz concert and the figure who appeared and walked with purpose to the mic, kind of well dressed, mysterious, all in black, bowler hat, or was it a Homburg? What was he going to do? He delivered a poem. Lawrence Ferlinghetti, founder member of City Lights back in 1953. I remember Rick Danko, the band's bass player. He had this huge beaming smile. As people were wondering who that guy was, many already knew, including non-poetry people like me, because he also wrote short stories. And back in Glasgow, we knew him, as we also knew of the Black Mountain literary community, Black Sparrow Press, and the most exciting strands of contemporary English language writing, committed politically, socially, culturally, trying to move on, take on the powers that be. An essential part of the great literary tradition I associate with the Bay Area, speaking as an outsider, lies in its radical tradition. Writers born and bred here, and those who adopted the place, or were themselves adopted by the Bay community. An awareness of the strength of that intellectual tradition. No point naming names. The list is far too long for that. There is nothing more crucial than community. To be a regular visitor to any great bookstore is to take part in an intellectual community, which by definition is a radical community, being a combination of intellects, so it cannot be other than radical. Radical in vision, radical in scope. That to me is where that Rick Danko smile came from. A sense of community, that something else was going on at that tribute concert. That wider community, musicians, writers, artists of all kinds. A healthy regard for the cultures and the traditions of the non-mainstream. A sense of true solidarity falling through the early 1950s into the 1970s. In that period when things had begun to fall apart, and the hard right wing and the police state tactical methods took deeper shape within the Anglo-American world, exemplified by their attacks in society, on community, on these basic human qualities we associate with empathy and the sense of what it is to be human. We don't have to read every literary tradition of the world to understand that the English literary canon is an expression of WASP domination, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant colonisation. We don't have to read books in theology, political theory, or Greek philosophy to state our opinion that a system that creates billionaires by the score and can only exist in suffering for the millions is no source of pride, no matter how hard the state bureaucracy tries to ram it down our throat. It is iniquitous and can only be iniquitous. Otherwise, we don't know what a human being actually is. And such iniquities do not vanish by shrugging our shoulders. This is what people learned and acted upon during the 1960s. And that is why it was such a dangerous period for the powers that be, and why the combined force of police states everywhere cracked down to destroy the potential of an international solidarity movement. How do we defend? How do we move on from there? I see it in a positive light, and it's cheery for us old-timers like myself. It doesn't ignore contemporary issues, but it's grounded in older forms of knowledge gathering, and it derives from what we might call common sense, the experience of other human beings. Direct contact, whether personal or impersonal, but communication, conversation, seeing and hearing other human beings, sometimes within touching range, shaking hands, seeing another person smile or become irritated or angry or relaxing, sighing, groaning, shoulders drooping. We recognize when someone is tired. We look at another person and we make inferences how they are. Oh, I can see you're tired. You look exhausted. You look hungry. Have you eaten? Did something difficult happen? You appear sad, downhearted. I see it in you. I hear it in your voice. You avoided touching. You didn't hug. You didn't shake hands. You avoided eye contact. City Lights is a great bookshop and community is what any great bookshop will offer. City Lights is a great bookshop and community, and it's what any City Lights is a great bookshop and community is what any great bookshop will offer. Community is not a commodity. Community cannot be bought and sold. A community is a combination of people, flexible, indefinable, dynamic, a source of inspiration, of energy, and energy renewed. People come together through shared interest, shared passion, shared ideas. We're human beings. We make our own judgments. If we don't, then we don't survive. In the company of other people, we share information. We make use of our own perceptions, and we listen to the opinion of others. These things are not controlled by third parties, algorithms constructed by the global defence and pharmaceutical industries. We offer our own position and we learn from other people. That's what the community is. That's the City Lights great bookshop. Great books, great people. It's been a pleasure sharing all this stuff with you. And I thank also my technical assistant who's teaching me these new tricks. I can't see him. My grandson. Solidarity begins at home, but he's disappeared and left me. So I'll just finish. Good night from Glasgow. Hiya, pal. How you doing, wee pal?